What's up, world? Welcome to K3 TV. My name is Oz. Back again today with another music review for you guys. We're doing part 2 of Billie Eilish's new album, When We All Fall Asleep, Where Do We Go? I didn't really get too in depth on the first review for you guys, so today we're going to talk about my 3 favorite tracks on the album. Let's get into it. So with all albums, my process, just to explain it to you guys a little bit, of course, I like to listen to any album the first time from track 1 all the way through in order. I know today's generation, we like to shuffle around, but you know, it's not too often that artists come out with albums these days. Everyone's just dropping tracks. So anytime an album does, anytime an artist does put in their time to drop an album, myself as a creative, I understand how much work it takes to make one good song, or even like a good chorus or a verse, you know. So to put together a whole album, it takes lots of time, lots of work. There's many people involved in the process as well. It's not usually just the artist. So you know, the first track that really caught my attention as I was listening to the album was the song track number 3, Zanny, which you know, I've been kind of following her social media and stuff the last couple of days since the album dropped. Seems like her fans really dig this track as well. You know, the title of the track, Zanny, you would think that this is a drug ballad of some sort, and it is. It's just a lot different from most drug ballads that you hear, because she talks about how it's not cool to do drugs. Which definitely is very different from other music that is, you know, even on the radio today. But me, myself, having experience with Xannies and other drugs per se, I could definitely agree with her that Xannies is definitely not my favorite drug. No, but on a real note, you know, she does get pretty serious. This drug, I have friends and I know people that are seriously addicted to it, and just like any other drug, it can tear apart lives and families. But more on the topic of the track itself. Some of the reasons that I really dig the track, you know, one thing that is really hard to do, and I'm sure a lot of producers will agree with me, is to try and mix genres, or at least sounds from different genres. During the verse sections on this track, you know, all the instrumentation is acoustic. Her voice carries the melody, of course. And actually there's layers of her voice. I know her brother produces all her tracks, and he's, oh man, Phineas O'Donnell, I think is his real name, is a very talented producer. As much as everyone raves about Billie Eilish or whatnot, you know, people need to understand that her brother has a huge part in her creative process as well. I actually knew about her brother first, I just didn't know that it was her brother. He has a track called Claudia that I really love, and didn't find out until a couple of days ago that, oh, you know, that's actually Billie Eilish's brother. But sorry, I digress a lot. You guys probably know that by now. But back on the track, it's really hard to mix acoustic sounds with synthesizers. And whenever the verse transitions into the chorus in this song, it gets really heavy, and he uses heavy synthesizers. He even uses some type of vocal effect, like a vocal synth on her voice as well, with like layers to it. And there's this part where she goes, I don't need a something like that, but her voice pans from like left to right. It has like this awesome effect. I see a lot of comments on YouTube. I see a lot of people out there talking shit about Billie Eilish, saying that, you know, the songs are simple, there's no complex chord structures or whatnot. As a producer, and if you produce, you understand like how advanced the production is on this album. So first track, Zanny, great track, great message that she's sending out there to her fans, her younger fans, of course. You know, don't do drugs, kids, or if you do it in moderation. Don't get crazy with it. It could really fuck up your life. Let's get on to track number 2. Track number 10, Bury Your Friend. I want to say within the first 10 seconds of listening to this track, I fell in love with it. My gut is usually always right. It is still probably my most favorite song on the track. Has the most incredible sounding drums, very unique. It's hard for me to kind of explain. You guys just got to listen to it for yourself. The depth that some of the percussions has, it's incredible, honestly. Phineas O'Donnell, the producer, her brother, genius. He's doing right now what I'm striving to do, you know, mixing my tastes in alternative music with hip hop beats, and he's doing it flawlessly. I will be honest with you guys though, upon hearing this track the first 5-10 times, and even looking up the lyrics to the track, I had no idea what the fuck she's talking about. But I'll be honest with you too, Google is your friend, the internet is your friend. I did some research and it turns out that this track has the theme of being your own worst enemy, and very common theme in movies and music. We are our own worst enemies, right? So this track, she's really singing from the perspective of the monster inside of her, as if, like, you know, she's sleeping under her own bed. And if you look into the lyrics of the track, you'll kind of see that it really does make sense. If you guys know Billie Eilish, she doesn't really like to talk about the meaning of her songs. She likes that stuff to be interpreted by her fans, and she doesn't want to come out and say like, oh, this track means this and that, and so what you thought it was is wrong, which is pretty cool. I know she has a really great connection with her fan base. If you've ever been to any of her concerts, they're like sing-alongs. I saw an interview where, you know, she talked about she lost her voice during a show once, and her fans didn't even know because they're freaking singing along to all the tracks, and like she made it work somehow. But yeah, second favorite track, Bury Your Friend, track number 10. Guys, if you haven't yet, please check it out. Let's get into the third, or my third favorite track on the album. All right, my third favorite track off Billie's new album is actually track number 8, titled 8. This probably isn't one of my favorite tracks off the album, but I do want to give her props on this song, only because I recently saw an album review video on YouTube by another person, and I respect your opinion, bro, but I can tell that you know nothing about production or anything. Someone was talking about, you know, this is the worst track off her album. I didn't know where she was trying to go with it. Her voice sounds weird, like a little girl's in the first verse, and I just didn't know where she was trying to go with the song. I hate it whenever critics try to box in any type of artist, like as if, you know, a hip-hop artist can't make alternative tracks and vice versa. It's like, why can't we just make good music, and why can't you just listen to the damn thing and not try to like categorize it, right? Just enjoy it. If it sounds good, it's good. I was really vibing with the track. I think it's pretty obvious that she's talking about a boy or something on the track. You know, she needs to go, gotta leave. Very simple song, but the production on it is very advanced as well. Phineas O'Donnell, I'll say it for the third time, very talented producer. I really loved how he was able to mix the ukulele guitar with like the 808 kicks and subs in the track, and he made it mesh really well. So as much as I love Billie, I love Phineas O'Donnell as well. They're both talented artists, and just to wrap it up, yeah, those were my 3 favorite tracks off the album. I really hope that you guys will take the time to check it out yourself and listen to the whole thing. It's a great album from start to finish. I will honestly say that the album starts off really strong, and then I don't want to say it finishes weak, but it doesn't finish as strong. I think that has more to do with the sounds that are used towards some of the last tracks. But still, all in all, I want to give this album probably like a 8.5 out of 10. And comparing it to maybe other albums that I've heard this year, it's probably higher than an 8.5. It's a great album. Really enjoyed it all the way through. Never really thought about fast forwarding through a track or skipping to the next one. So those were my thoughts on the album. Those are my 3 favorite tracks on the album, and I'd love to know what your 3 favorite tracks were on the album. If you haven't done so already, please subscribe below. My boy Kevin will definitely appreciate it. And comment below. I really want to get your ideas on what you guys thought about the album. And yeah.
And if you enjoy our videos, please support us on Patreon.com so we can make an X-Men edition of Kiss and Thanks. Thank you.